Morning YouTubers, 56 days to go, 17 hours. As you can see in the background, the weather is stunning. 1 or 2 clouds in the sky, 13 above, which is good for this time of the year. I've already seen a number of people wearing flip-flops and shorts. I think that says a lot about the British and the sun. Had a nice line this morning, first line in, well, since the training's begun. There's no need to get up nice and early for the kids or for a long ride or run. Got a 45-minute easy pace run later on, so I might head to the beach, or I will be heading to the beach. Just a simple pace. Not going to exert myself, may even take the dogs out. It is the Easter break at the moment, and tomorrow I have I think it's a 65-mile ride. So it's going to be interesting because the roads are obviously going to be pretty busy. As a whole, I'm feeling really good. You know, the body's feeling good, the mind's good. The podcast went live today, which is brilliant. So if you've not checked that out yet, then head over to iTunes and have a look. I'll put the link in the description below. You can subscribe to that. The plan is to do 50 or so podcasts and then see what happens. See what kind of interest it gets, and that will determine whether it's something that I continue to do or not. In the podcast, I'm really just talking about things that have interested me, the psychological aspects, the mindful aspects, more so than what I'm covering in these daily vlogs, whatever you want to call them. So I go into a little bit more detail. Fired them out to some people last week, and they're not professionally recorded. They're completely off the cuff. There's no script. So what you hear is, you know, comes from the heart, comes from the mind, comes from that present moment, as opposed to something that I've researched, documented. It's off my own understandings, beliefs, my own knowledge. So yeah, we'll see how they get on. Yesterday, or last night and this morning, I've been ordering some new kit. I've ordered a new camera. Which I'm looking forward to receiving. Should be tomorrow. No, I won't be able to. Yeah, so that'll be tomorrow. So tomorrow may be the last ride that I take this camera on. What else? Just off now to see a friend, Ben. He runs a paleo/primal Spartan type CrossFit gym facility near me. He's done really well out of it. He is incredibly passionate about what he does. We catch up probably 4 times a year, despite living no distance whatsoever from each other and having many interests, just to really throw some ideas around, enjoy good coffee, and yeah, just thrash out some bits and pieces. And the funny story with Ben is when he was just starting out, I went for did some business coaching with him, and in exchange he put me through the paces on a PT session. And at the time he was living on a hill and wasn't feeling all that great. I thought at the time I had cold. Anyway, he had me doing these high knees up and down this hill, and I said to him afterwards, I said, you know, I've got to stop, I'm not feeling good. Anyway, pretty much collapsed on the floor, wheezing. Ended up going to accident and emergency the following day, and as it happened, I had a lung infection where my lungs were sticking to the cavity wall of my of the lung, and the diaphragm wasn't working properly, and I was submitted to hospital for I think a day or a night, put on these really strong antibiotics, and basically that's what happened. I was in a pretty bad way. It wasn't a good experience whatsoever. Yeah, it was pretty comical. But I finished the sessions, so yeah, pushed on through it. Anyway, that's it for me for now. I've had to stop and grab a hydration pack because my order from a few days ago hasn't arrived yet, and due to the Easter break, I think, or I'm having a guess, it's not going to arrive either today or tomorrow. And I'm all out, so just pulled into a local well-known store. You might be able to see it behind me or not, to catch up on those bits. So that's it for now. Enjoy the run later. I'll catch up with you probably later this evening. Head on over to my podcast channel. Some of the content's duplicated in the videos that I'm adding into my YouTube channel. So if you've arrived here at random and would prefer to get it on your mobile device or on your tablet, then it's probably best to subscribe via iTunes. If you want to feature on my iTunes on the podcast, and you think you've got something that you can add to this series or to the message out there, then by all means hit me up and let's talk. But for now, have a good day, be safe, peace out. that's the run done. Just over half an hour. 5k, really low pace, almost walking. Wanted to do 40 minutes, but didn't quite equate to that, just a few minutes short. Obviously I was running out on the pebbles and on the sand, so there was a little bit more resistance there than on the path back. Felt happy, comfortable, got in the zone, nice and easy. Felt realistically that I could have done that pace for a lot longer. And for me at this stage, you know, not even 30 days in, my training's going to, not even 50 days in, the training's going to change in the next 10 days or so. Going to be working a lot more specifically targeted. There'll be one main focus session of the day and then one smaller session. Both equally important in the long term, but you know, the training's going to be shifted. Yeah, the heart rate zone was like 1.2. It says 1.2 average, so that just gives an example, demonstrates how the pace was. You know, 30 minutes for a 5k, it's not too bad. Not breaking any records, but if I can keep that pace up and keep the progression going, bring that heart rate zone down while covering that kind of distance, then you know, I'll be really happy with that on the day. Submitted a couple of other podcasts earlier, so they'll be there, so don't forget to check them out. Put the link in the description below for the iTunes podcasts. Sadly, Google haven't yet decided to set live yet the podcast equivalent on their Google Play in Great Britain yet, which is, or United Kingdom, which is, to me, is bizarre. But you know, they have their reasons. So don't forget to check those out. I'll be, as I said before, throwing out or putting out about 50 to start with, seeing what the feedback is, and then going from there. Just off now to the gym, shower, stretch and change, maybe a sauna if I've got time, and then home. So that finalises really the video of today. Nothing much to report. It's a Friday night, Easter break, so the children are off. Got a ride tomorrow, then lunch out with the family, and then a double session on Saturday. The ride tomorrow isn't actually a long ride, which is nice, so it'd be nice, steady, comfortable pace, nothing too quick. I think the body is going to need a little bit of downtime soon. It might be recovery week next week. Yeah, just to have an element of recovery. Thanks for tuning in. Really appreciate all of the feedback and the investment of your time. You know, it's very easy for people submitting videos just to keep throwing up videos in the hope that somebody's going to watch them, but really appreciate all of the real-time support, the feedback, the positivity. You know, I'm feeling it. It's really nice to be able to have that, put something out there and people come back with good vibes. You know, there's so much negativity in the world. All you got to do is pick up the paper and you hear rant after rant after rant. Checked out a few YouTube videos the other day, people doing really well, and it surprises me. Well, maybe that's the shift. Their stuff is ridiculously negative. I mean, they're almost trolls, slating other YouTube channels. You know, there's enough hatred in the world really to really add to it and to expand it. You know, let's just keep things positive. That's what I say. Anyway, hydrating with electrolytes. Got banana, so I'm going to have that now before going. Thanks for tuning in. Be safe. Have a good evening and keep on smiling.